Giovanni must face reality. Ready or not, he is suddenly the new patriarch at MV Agusta.
I realized in this moment that if you stop, you think about, oh God, what I do now, the world moves and you stay still, and then you fail. You have to move on.
He's learning. What his father did wasn't easy.
It's very difficult. I thought it was much easier.
Claudio was crazy for these kind of things and was, I would say, more an artist than an engineer, but he was a great artist with a great vision.
Most beautiful bikes the Italian bike industry has created, as most of them have been done under Claudio Castiglione. So to be kind of the last in the line of this succession of beautiful bikes was a challenge for a designer. You know, you've got to have a bit of imagination to turn the square block of clay into something that actually feels right in terms of a riding experience, because, you know, it could be just a square box, really. I mean, it doesn't have to be this refined and have all these nice shapes, but it really is that what makes the difference. It has to look great, but it has to be great to sit on as well.
Working to get just the right look, just the right feel. Now Giovanni must not only finish what his father started, he's got to make it sell.
This legacy between Mr. Castiglione, Mr. Claudio, and Giovanni, I think it's unique.
To many at MV Agusta, the company is one big family. Claudio's death hits hard. They quickly rally around Giovanni. Family is honored at MV Agusta.
We were used to see him like a child, and now he represents the continuity of the MV Agusta. So it's a big change. But for sure, he has the same passion like his father.
Passion that seems uniquely tied to this part of Italy.
In this part of the world, there were born some people that were like my father, like Enzo Ferrari, like Lamborghini, that were able to do something different. Were able to put passion into something that is mechanic. So when you look at a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, or an MV, and you see that there is a soul. I think if you don't have passion in motorcycle, you do a company without a soul. I don't know if I can explain.
Claudio's old friend, Massimo Bordi, is in his 60s. Giovanni is now his boss and half his age.
Between me and Giovanni, there is no jealousy. Our target is to make this company a strong company, to be successful, mostly in the honor of Claudio.
I'm sorry that my father cannot see how much success this bike will have. I think it's a good tribute to my father.
One of the first tests Giovanni faces alone is a dealers' meeting at the factory. Dealers who will voice their own opinions if the new bike captures the passion and soul of an MV.
This is a classical dealer meeting when we present the new model year.
Giovanni looks nervous. This is his first dealer meeting without Claudio by his side.
If you are the one that is doing the bike with your team, you fall in love with the bike. But then the actual proof is when you show the bike to somebody else.
The proof can be heard.
We started the F3 a few years ago. It's a very difficult project because it's a brand new bike, so brand new frame, brand new engine, start of production, a new assembly line, many things that takes place to do a completely new product.
The dealer show bike is the final F3, except for one minor glitch. Its engine doesn't work. The engine is the key to the entire F3 project. The work of a man named Marco Castinelli.
Marco Castinelli is the head of our R&D. For me, is the professor.
One of the major issues in such a design is cost. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. It's a nice thing, but it cannot go into production.
The F3 will not be the first three-cylinder MV Agusta engine. In the 1960s and 70s, Italian racer Giacomo Agostini wins 14 world championships riding MV Agusta three-cylinder race bikes.
Historically, the brand of MV Agusta is very linked to the three-cylinder engine layout because all the victories from Agostini in the past, that was really fantastic.
MV stops building the racing three-cylinder engine in 1974. Ironically, the factory still has the original plans, but few people working on the new F3 sports bike know anything about three-cylinder engines.
Of course, we had a look at the old drawings. Technology had completely changed. Of course, those engines were specially made for racing. We are talking about a production engine.
This is the new MV Agusta. So all the young guys that are here, they didn't know anything about three cylinders at all.
Andrea Goghi is head of engine research and development. His job is to take the engine design and actually build the motor.
So let me introduce in the MV Agusta engine department, where first the four-cylinder engine was born, and now is the time of the F3, the three-cylinder engine to follow. This is really the place where we try to understand if things work, how they work, how we can improve, how we can get better. We can have a look. So now in this moment we are really in the heart of the development area. This is the dyno room where we mainly developed the engine. Now there are many dynos dedicated to the three-cylinder, but this one especially was the one where we made all the performance and the reliability tests.
It takes months to tweak and improve the engine design.
There was some time in which we were stuck at a certain amount of power. We could not increase, and we tested many things, but we never increased the power. At a certain point, we touched the right note, the right thing, and everything was fine. Now the engine which is running is one of the first engines made with production parts, and we are checking that the general performance of the engine is exactly the same like the prototypes.
During development, Andrea and his staff find ways to increase the F3 engine's performance by 20 horsepower.
The most exciting moment is when you start things and maybe power is low, and then you do some things and you grow, you grow, you grow, you grow, and that's really probably the best for an engine engineer.
That would have made Claudio Castiglione happy. Very happy.
More horsepower. He wanted always more.
With the prototype engine built and tested, It's finally time to put the normal F3 engines into production. Like the prototypes, the new F3 production engines are all built by hand, mixing old school with high tech. A simple brush to oil parts. A space-age digital wrench to make certain every bolt is tightened to perfect specifications. But even with a space-age tool, when you put a new engine into production, traditional methods are important, like referring to the engine building manual to make sure you get it right.
The first production engine of the F3 build, which will be tested for the first time today as a production engine. It's like the born of a new baby.
The new engine lives up to expectations. After years of development, it's time to build some bikes. The MV factory stands next to Lake Varese. The building's more than 30 years old. But inside, they're getting ready to build one of the most modern motorcycles in the world.
The first F3 will be born in this factory.
We are in one department of MV production, where is assembled the new bike, F3. The engine come in line already testing.
Building the F3 begins with bolting parts to the engine. But there's a problem. The new F3 engine is so compact, it doesn't fit the engine stands on the assembly line.